Hey, Natsu here. This is going to be the first part for one of the new what ifs that I'm going to do. But I checked every notebook that I have, every script, every notes, and everything. I have only what ifs that actually aren't mixed with anything else, which are the three new ones, since I decided to class everything before making them. The Venom Deku, the Angel Girl Deku, the Omega Stone Deku, as well as my leveling Deku, which has multiple notebooks to itself. So I'm also going to continue that one. Simply because the only reason I'm not continuing the other ones right now is because they're completely mixed up with a lot of other what ifs, and I have to kind of separate everything. So yeah, 7 what ifs. So this new what if is a bit different than what I normally do. This one is going to be in the Seven Deadly Sins world, and it is going to be a well. Take the my basically it's going to be Deku dies in My Hero Academia world when the sludge villain attack. He is reincarnated in the Seven Deadly Sin world, um, basically in his body, but with a bit of a special things to special powers to him, and he's going to be basically found by Meliodas and Elizabeth right after Elizabeth basically finds Meliodas. So before anything happened, right after the first episode, when they leave to go to the village, that's when they find Deku. And the things I'm giving Deku is actually basically like the Saiyan power up of well the Zenkai, as well as a capacity to learn any magic or special power that somebody has directly in them if he is able to drink some of their blood. Compared to, let's say, someone that drinks demon blood, they turn into a half demon because a small demon seed appears inside of them. If he does that, that won't happen to him. He will just gain the power of that specific being. So, yeah, basically, he can gain power and stuff like that by drinking the blood of people. Like, if he drinks Ban's blood, he will not gain his immortality, but he will gain his snatch and everything else like that. So that's a bonus. He will not learn of it for a small amount of time, but he will get stronger a lot after a bit. Because basically, what I'm going to do is from the start of the series all the way up till the end of the series, and he's going to grow during that time. Um, Basically, his natural power that he is basically born with, kind of. Basically, what happens is that he is reborn in that world. For a while, he lives in that world as a normal kid, up until he is 15, where basically what happens to him is we don't know. Um, he lost all of his memory from that world and regained his memory from his old world, basically making it as if he just got teleported from one world to another, but he is human still, so he doesn't change that much for that, except that his strength is a bit stronger than what most people would normally have in that world. Basically, the strength of a normal knight, basically, but he already has that without the power that comes with it. So basically, a power like when Hawks get the earring that lets him see powers like um, strength, spirit, and magic, and then add all of them together to make a certain amount, which gives Meliodas 3000 something. In that moment, he would have around 259 or something like that, basically. Um, strength, strength 90. Um, magic around something like 73, and the rest in spirit. Sorry about that. I'm just going to take a small pause. Someone called me. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah, it was nothing. Oh, I think I just made a mistake. I said his strength was 90, that's his spirit, so the rest isn't strength. You know what? No, I'm going to change that a bit. Spirit 77, um, magic 73, and strength 109. There. That's going to be the base. So basically, normal fighter like Jericho, when they first met her, he's already stronger than her. Well, almost. Kind of equal. So basically, they meet up with him, they ask him who he is. Him knowing that, well, seeing that he's not at all in the right world, basically remembering that he died, just thinks, okay, yeah, it's probably a quirk that it's, well, no. He just thinks, okay, yeah, that's really weird. I don't know at all what I'm doing here, and basically says that he doesn't know anything. He doesn't even remember who he is. Well, no, he says that all he remembers is who he is, and he says Midoriya. So basically, they say their goals. Um, they ask him if he knows the history of the kingdom. He says no. Then they explain to him that the seven deadly sins were falsely accused of killing the strongest warrior, and blah blah blah, that she's the princess, and that they are trying to find the other seven deadly sins, and that if he wants to, he can come with them, which he accepts simply because, yeah, well, what do I do? I have nothing else. So basically, for the part where they go to the village where the kid placed a bug in um, Gil's beers when he said it wasn't good. Basically, all of that happens the exact same since, well, Deku doesn't do anything for a while. The second place when they are in the forest of illusion, this is a bit changed. Deku still wants to help people. He still has the mentality of, I want to be a hero, even though he thinks it's impossible. He knew it was impossible in his own world, and now he doesn't even know if it would be even close to possible. Um, so the first thing that happens is basically just like in the anime, the monster transforming into Hawk, then transforming into Izuku, simply to catch the attention. Melior- Meliodas basically having taken um, Elizabeth undergarment, panties, yes. Um, Izuku kind of just says that it's him, not them, blah blah blah. Um, then just thinks, how could I prove it? And just says, I know. And basically just kind of, well, he already died once, so he kind of lost that fear. Yes, I know normally you wouldn't, but let's just say he lost the fear of it and just said Meliodas to cut them all up. He sh- he's going to be fine, which Meliodas really didn't see it coming and just attack every other one when he said okay, basically hurting all of them. All of them then tried to turn into Elizabeth and started going around, making it harder for them to know. And then he tells them to do the same thing, um, play with their boobs, stuff like that, then jump. Elizabeth, once again, like in the anime, stays down, and he attacks them again. This time they run. So, um, they follow them. They get to Diane, who does the same thing with Hawk, then sees the captain, does the same thing, then sees both Elizabeth and Izuku, which Izuku basically is just a small amount taller than Meliodas. Well, a small amount. Meliodas is like 1.5 times what Meliodas is, actually, which is extremely hilarious. And since Deku is about 2.2 times, Meliodas is a bit taller than that. So yeah, he basically looks the exact same except with clothes from that world. So basically, after a bit, Gil Thunder attack, and this is the first time that something like this happens. And Izuku basically tries to help um, Meliodas and tries to kind of punch Gil, which Gil Thunder basically shocks him. So the first time he gets hit by something, really, he is hurt, but it's not that bad. Because I think I forgot to say it, but because I started saying his powers. He is stronger than most. He can copy abilities. Um, he is human, and he has a regeneration, kind of like a demon, but a lot less powerful. And he only has one heart, so easy to destroy. Um, So yeah, basically he has a small regeneration that just kind of strong enough that for if he wants to put his arm back in place, he can. If he doesn't do that, it will just regrow over time, taking a small amount of time. The stronger he is, the stronger the regeneration will be. But for the power he has now, it's kind of low. Like, let's say his arm was cut off, it would take about a good week to come back completely. So yeah, it's strong, but it still takes time. If he places his arm back in place, he just needs to hold it there for like a minute or so, and it will be perfectly fine. So basically, it's the first time that something like that happened. After that, they go to the other town where later they found Ban, since there's the prison not far away from there. They tried to poison um, Meliodas. He gets back up. Izuku had healed by the time they got there, which they saw that he had the capacity of healing. Um, which also made him a bit stronger. Not that much stronger, since basically what happened was Guild Thunder kind of just shocked him as well as making a cut on him. Um, so Izuku only got like 10% stronger and everything. No, I'm not going to do the calculator right now. Well, you know what? Yeah, let me just go check. Okay, so now his powers, well, his strength is 120, since if not, it makes 19.9, 119.9. His magic is 85, and his spirit is 81. Uh, no, 80. So yeah, basically, he just got a bit stronger. Not that high, but it still makes 285 in total, which a normal um, knight has about 250 when it comes to a low level knight. Like, let's say the three that they fight, the guy that can go invisible, the guy that can make illusions, and the girl that can control bugs. I think they all have around just a bit over 250 for each of them. So if you look at it completely fine, Deku is stronger than them if they go one on one. Because kind of just like that. But for now, he still doesn't try to fight that much. Basically, the thing when the guy basically appeared in the room, tried to take the sword, well, that we know is actually key if you saw the anime. Um, when that happened, Deku got scared by Meliodas, but kept his composure. The guy ran away. Basically the same thing as in the anime happened. They ran away, and the doctor was kind of almost killed. Elizabeth awakened her power for a bit, which healed both, which healed the doctor, which her power also was the thing that healed Meliodas, after she was told that he had poison put in inside of him. So, funny enough. Then they ran away, they went in the house. The same thing happened. They were able to. He decided to run away and not come back anymore. Then they went for the prison, where Ban started trying to escape. Well, not trying, was escaping. Um, they started going for the prison. Meliodas and Diane were hypnotized by the guy. Um, then, for some reason, the only person that wasn't affected by it was Deku. Hmm. So when they saw the small boy, she started speaking like that, and he said, "It's not a small boy. It's a man in an armor." Which she tries to argue, and he says, "Are you serious? Look at it." Then he basically describes the guy, which he thinks, "That's interesting. You were able to see through my illusion. I am impressed." And then goes to attack Deku, which he basically does. Which, when he hit Deku, basically the first thing that Deku did was just get pushed back a lot. It hurt a lot as well. He was just kind of pushed back into a tree, and started trying to come back up. During that time, the same thing that happened with Elizabeth happened, which is that she started speaking to him and made him hit her. She took the bell, but instead of afterward the guy going F being beaten by Meliodas, Izuku basically came and punched him for the first hit, basically pushing him away, which Meliodas saw, as well as Diane, which basically what they did was then Diane taking um, Elizabeth, going back in the city, being attacked by the bug girl, Diane killing her outright, easily. Um, Meliodas doing the same thing that he did to the guy in the anime, except that he saw Deku's strength for a kid, and he decided that he was gonna help him train, since he already has that much power, and he wants to help us, so why not? So after that happened, they got back together. They started going um, inside the prison, where Ban had already basically escaped. Um, the one with the invisibility power, placed the cage around the prison. Meliodas and Ban basically did the exact same thing, started hitting themselves, well, each other, then going for an arm wrestle. And Diane basically told both Hawk and Izuku to basically stay behind her or on her, because they basically are going to destroy a lot of things, which they do, destroying the entire prison. After that happened, basically the same thing happened with Elizabeth in bed, the doctor being healed, the feast, except that this time there's one more person, Izuku. Which, after Ban asked who he was, Meliodas, sorry for that, Meliodas basically says that he's a kid that they found on the way here, before finding Diane, and he decided that he was going to try and help him and train him because he has a lot of strength. Which Ban asked what he means, and Meliodas said that one of the night that they fought, he hit Elizabeth and well hit um, Deku and then Elizabeth, but Deku basically came back and hit the guy a lot harder than what the guy did. Well, not a lot harder, but he was able to put a dent in the armor, which Ban was surprised that a kid that lost his memory has that much strength. So he must have been trained before, which isn't really true. Um, Meliodas tells Ban that the kid actually has a small regeneration, which kind of reminds him of him, actually. Which Ban asks to see the regeneration, which Izuku basically grabs a knife and just kind of cuts himself. And he says, I don't know when it's going to heal, but it's going to in a bit. And about 2 minutes later, he was finally healed completely. And Ban decided to say, yeah, well, if you're able to heal, that means you can train a lot more than a normal human, since your body will heal from it. And so we're not going to go easy on you. Which basically Meliodas took as, so you're going to help me train him? Which Ban said, yeah. So I'm going to end it here with basically them having 3 of the 7 sins. That's basically about a third of the first season. Well, a bit under that, but still. So, yeah. If you like this one, tell me in the comment section. It's one of the 7 what ifs I'm going to continue during the next month or two. Um, one of the 2 others is going to be a what if the entire My Hero Academia world was different, and you're going to see that why. And the other one is a bit more of a surprise. So, yeah. Try to guess how the My Hero Academia world will be different in the next What If. Um, put your ideas or your theories in the comment section if you want. It's going to come in tomorrow or the day after for this one. So you have about 24 hours or so. All I'm going to say is that quirks are still there, but there is something big added to it. So, hope to like this one. Natsu, out. If it leaves me. Okay, Natsu, out.